Hello everyone and namaskar. I'm Nandini. I'm an experienced Bengali and English language educator with over a decade of teaching international students. My passion for language learning and structure instructions has led me to develop beginner-friendly materials like introducing my book, I Learned Bengali Conversation, I Bring a Beginner's Guide. I'm also a creator of bilingual English and Bengali stories because I love to write and it's my passion. Because I have been teaching English internationally since 2020, and teaching is my passion. And I believe when passion becomes profession, no one can stop. So today here you can see my topic, that is dust roads to digital classrooms, where I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, a story that I think can motivate you from your, just a moment here. Um, so to motivate you to improve or start a new journey. Okay, here I'm going to story about a girl who began her life in a tiny rural village on a dusty road that hardly anyone was poor. Education was just a luxury. And for most girls around her, life usually ended in an early marriage, not in dreams. Now, this girl grew up with limited resources, few books, and almost no guidance. Schools were far, and support for girls' education was ever further. Still, she carried a quiet determination to study, to learn, and to build a life that was different from what her circumstances predicted. Now, despite countless obstacles, she completed her schooling and became the first graduate in her family. There were days of doubt, days of scarcity, and days when she studied by borrowing books. But she kept going, step by step, believing that education was her only ladder out of poverty. Just when she entered her master's program, her family arranged her marriage. Many expected her studies to end there, but she refused to stop. She continued her master's degree after marriage. Through household duties, emotional pressure, and very little support, every exam she passed was a small act of rebellion and hope. Eventually, she turned her hard-earned education into purpose. She became a teacher, first for local students, then gradually teaching learners across borders. With time, she stepped into digital classrooms, guiding international students and helping them discover the joy of learning both languages, Bengali and English. Now, technology opened doors she had never imagined. From a village where computers were rare, she became part of global AI projects, multilingual training, and digital literacy work. The dust roads she once walked slowly transformed into digital pathways that connected her to the world. This story is not just about her, it is about every child in rural India who is born with big dreams but small opportunities. It is about how education can rewrite destinies. It is about how every teacher and mentor has the power to lift someone out of the limitations they inherited. This journey from dusty roads to digital classrooms shows one simple truth. You don't need to be a perfect beginning to create a powerful ending. All you need is courage, education, and the belief in your potentials. And now I want to tell you something. The girl, the one who walked dusty village roads, the one who studied with borrowed books, the one who was expected to marry early, the one who finished her master's degree after marriage, the one who fought for education. The girl is no one else but me. My journey from a rural childhood to becoming an international educator, an author, and an AI contributor is not a story of talent. It's a story of perseverance. And if I can raise from those circumstances, my student listening today can raise too. Don't you think so? So my presentation is all about the lessons that I have learned throughout my journey. Every page is an experience and a lesson for you. So let's start with the first point, that your background never decides your destination. Why? Because I'm going to explain why it is relevant and why it is a lesson for you. Like, I studied with almost nothing, as I have already mentioned. No money, no exposure, and no guidance. I had no teacher, no books, nothing. Yet my education carried me across borders and into digital classroom worldwide. Next is, education is the most powerful tool you will never want. So it became my escape, my strength, and my identity. Whatever you achieve tomorrow will come from what you learn today, right? So next, you can see that obstacles don't stop you. Your mindset does. So I had poverty. I got married early. My pressure was all about my family related. I became a mother, but nothing could stop me. The lack of support tried to stop me for every step on my life, but nothing could stop, right? So my determination moved me forward. Now here you can see even one person's courage can break generations limit, because I have already mentioned that no one from my family, even in my neighborhood, the locality, could graduate before me. So I was the first one. And then I completed my master. So I became the first graduate and the first to complete a master's degree in my family, proving that one learner can change an entire family's future. Why? Because now you can see there are many in my locality, in my family, who are graduates. Next is, you don't need perfect conditions to succeed, right? Like, I studied in difficult circumstances, but consistency mattered more than comfort. My in university was too far. I stopped going there every day. I took online lessons, okay, but I didn't stop. Nothing could stop. Now, next is, reinvention is always possible. Why? Because a village girl become a teacher, right? My background was just a normal, very simple school. But today, what I am, it's just amazing change. So then I'm an author and AI annotator. So your future can have many chapters. Don't limit yourself. Explore yourself. Because nowadays technology is the way that can help you to bloom, So technology can open doors you have never imagined. The digital platforms connected me to the international students and global companies. Today, your phone or laptop can take you farther than your hometown ever could, right? Now, your story can inspire others, even if it starts small. Like when I started, it was a small one. But nowadays, it can motivate many people, okay? And I believe that if you refuse to stop, life refuses to limit you. I have experience with many students. My students are from age 4 to 72. Yes, 72, you are listening correct. And I have students like who are living in America for many days, many years, but they get shy to going to school to learn English conversation, but they're taking lessons to me for years because they're very friendly to me. I can understand their problem. So I have seen that at the age of 60, 64, they're doing very well. So age is nothing. There is no limitation of learning. Education is the only thing that can open doors for you. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. And also thank you for giving education the more powerful tool in your life.
Thank you, Miss Nandini. Wonderful presentation. Can you stop sharing your screen?
Thank you. Yeah.
So, ma'am, very well spoken, ma'am, and thanks for sharing your journey on our platform. I have received a couple of questions from the previous speakers. Unfortunately, they are not able to log in, maybe because they're at school or something like that. So, a couple of questions. So, what was the biggest obstacle you faced in accessing education during your childhood in the rural village?
The biggest obstacle was mindset, like society did not see a girl's education as important as boys. So they wanted to stop me. They wanted to get married early, and I wanted to study. In that case, my family, my mother, my grandmother, they helped me a lot. They didn't listen to me, so they have been my means the way of struggle. I did struggle, and they helped me a lot because they went against the society to continue my study.
So, how do you define education, ma'am?
Education, I really believe that education is the only way that can lead us to success. Okay, so I had nothing. When I studied, I had no teacher, no books. All the time, I have to take books from my friends, either, or I have to borrow it from other people, or I had to go to the library to take help. Uh, but the thing I only believe, I used to believe, I still believe, and that is the belief that if you want, no one can stop you.
Absolutely true. So, how did the lack of books, you have mentioned that you had so much struggle in your early childhood, coming from the rural background and not having access to the resources. How did this lack of books and distant schools impact your daily routine? And were you demotivated, or like how did you motivate yourself and push yourself for learning?
Yeah, I am also a human being, right? So sometimes I used to get very tired because I had to go long distance to school. I had to wake up very early, and even there was a lack of food. I was hunger. So sometimes I used to feel very, very, means demotivated. But whenever I see my siblings or my family struggling with poverty, and I immediately turned again that I had to do something for my family. I had to get rid of this poverty, and only education can do me.
So, did you face any disparity for being a girl child in the family, or did they encourage you because after noticing your hunger for education, did they encourage you, or did they just say that a girl, in Indian families,
Yeah.
right? Uh,
Mhm.
I'm not saying in every Indian household, but some. So girls are little neglected. We are say that how to put it, it's not a great important thing, it's not a very important thing for a girl child to get educated. So how did you overcome it and how did you convince them?
So that is a really good question because I had to struggle a lot, Like we used to sleep with my grandmother, and because of that, I couldn't study at night. I had to study outside of my room,
Mhm.
okay, in the open veranda. So in village, open veranda means many trees with the sense of ghost, but no one could get out during the night time to go to the washroom also. But I used to study out of the room in the dim light because
Mhm.
only at night I could get peace. In the morning, my neighborhood, they turn on the radio louder. Some relatives of mine also, they used to turn on the radio so that I couldn't concentrate in my study. So in the morning, I could hardly study, but at night, I could read, I could study properly. So I didn't want to disturb others.
Mhm.
Okay, so I used to study alone at night, 2 p.m., 2 a.m., in the still morning.
Okay.
So maybe that was a lesson for my family. They thought that, okay, so this girl is struggling too much. She wants to study, let her study. But still, when I got means into master's program, I was forced to marry
Mhm.
because according to them that this is the I'm getting over it. So I need to
Mhm.
marry immediately. I marry immediately. So but my condition was okay, I can, but I had to study. So I talked to my husband's family that if you permit me to study further, then I
Mhm.
will marry or else no.
Great. So you mentioned about the poverty, so definitely it will not allow you to spend much. forget about clothes or anything. Education, I know it's the most important thing, but still, buying books. That was not the digital time like you grew
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
So, what strategies did you use to borrow books and study during times of these difficult times and become the first graduate in your family?
Yeah, so in that case, my teachers helped me a lot. So they also could understand the hungerness inside me for studying. So they used to give me notes personally, and even in the break time when the other children were playing in the field, I used to write down from my friends' notebook or from their books. And
Mhm.
during my time, some books were also given free of cost. So like English book, okay, Bengali books. So those books were okay, but which books I didn't have, like I always try, still I have been trying to explore new things. So I used to gather two to three types of books, and then I used to make my own notes because as I told, I didn't have teacher properly. So I used to follow my school teachers, class teachers, and
Mhm.
also whatever they used to deliver in the lesson, I used to note them down. And
Great.
in my off time, I research the books that I have kept from my friends and also from the library, and I used to make my own notes.
Mhm.
Okay, so that I don't have to like depend on others.
Nice to know.
I had to work hard all the time.
I can understand. So, you finished your graduation and you entered into your master's program, and you were convinced. I will not use the word forced. You were convinced by your
Yes.
family to get married, and you spoke to your in-laws too about, like, when I get married, you should allow me to study. So,
Yes.
during your master's program, how did you balance household duties, as you mentioned, and emotional pressures, as you mentioned in your talk, after marriage to continue your studies? Can you give some examples? Because this is the most common thing. As a woman in the Indian households,
Mhm.
I don't say it as a bad thing. Yes, little emotional pressure and performing the duties as a wife or a daughter-in-law. Of course, like, I mean, it's our duty to take care of the family. So as the husband, that's what I feel. But how did you manage coming, from that background where you felt the pressure?
Yes, that is another story. Like after I got married, after 2 months, I had my exam. Okay. And during that time, my father-in-law suddenly got cancer. So he had to hospitalized many times, as you can understand. And I have five sister-in-laws,
Mm-hmm.
so they used to come regularly. So in the hustle and bustle of life, so first of all, I'm very new and
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing because before my marriage I did nothing in my house for household chores. All my mother, as I told, my mother and my grandmother, they used to be my great support. So they
Mm-hmm.
used to do everything. They didn't allow me to do any household chores. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to do after my marriage and welcoming the relatives and also helping my mother-in-law in her work, and again a sick person who
Mm-hmm.
my father-in-law used to love me a lot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he always tried to keep me with him. So I used to treat him as my son because he was sick and he needed me.
Mm-hmm.
So all the thing was like very chaos. So still, whenever I used to get time, like I used to wake up early so that I can study a little in the middle, during daytime, noontime, after when everybody is sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
that time and also night time. So I used to spend time whenever I used to get. And all the time, whatever I do, my mind always works. So whatever I have learned, I'm always
Mm-hmm.
repeating that in my mind. So
Mm-hmm.
this is very quiet. And the points I used to forget, I used to hang on the wall so that on the way of my means daily routine, I can see them and I can quickly recall what I'm going to miss.
Right. So, what inspired you to transition from local teaching to guiding international students in digital classrooms? It's a very big shift, right?
Yes.
Till
Yes.
till like a rural girl, who really struggled to get education
Mhm.
and become a master degree and getting a master's degree. And from there, like that itself is a big achievement. How did you reach the international students? So let's explore that also.
It's really very helpful for like digital classroom. I have never learned computer in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So all the thing I have learned through Google, through YouTube's. I make my own PPTs. I make my own lessons for my international students. So
Mm-hmm.
all is just like the help of this
Mm-hmm.
digitalization. So another help I got like during COVID time. So I
Mm-hmm.
used to study. I used to teach local students before. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
during COVID time, it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, a full stop. And then I realized, okay, if I want to do something, I have to go away the boundaries. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started applying international schools. So first, the chance I got in a Japanese English school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there I taught for 4 years. There I have means gather a lots of experience, because English is our second language as well.
Right.
Mine is, of course, because I have never studied in English medium school. So I
Mm-hmm.
can understand the need. I can
Mm-hmm.
understand their frustration. So
Mm-hmm.
that helped me a lot to be friendly with the English learners. So
Mm-hmm.
I became very friendly with the Japanese culture people, Japanese people, because they are very shy. They are very, really very good and friendly. And always in the introduction, I tell them that, okay, come to me because I can understand your frustration. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the way I have learned English, I'm going to help you to learn English in the same way. So
Mm-hmm.
many people trusted me, many people came. I have taught there over 5,000 lessons.
Great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a great and huge jump, huge leap for me. And from there, after gathering experience, I need some certificates, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance. It's, you can say it's my destiny, and maybe it's God that who also could understand my need. So he helped me to get the certificates. Now,
Mm-hmm.
getting certificates from America, I have got certificates from Hope City College in California. I've got
Mm-hmm.
certificate from a French institute. I have got certificate from Chinese institute also, and also like how to create lessons, ESL,
Mm-hmm.
TOEFL. These
Mm-hmm.
certificates are really helpful, because these certificates, without these certificates, I'm not going to get chance in some other and good websites, web companies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I got this. And these I got free of cost. How
Mm-hmm.
it can be possible? I had to do lessons, I had to do the classes online, and that was another hustle, because that time I became mother. COVID situation, no maids, nothing, all I had to do myself. That was a really different story, but I continued for the whole year, because I
Mm-hmm.
had to take the free lessons. Not only because because that time I had money because I got married,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't send the money to other countries. I didn't know how to send money to other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know, but that time I didn't know. So
Great.
I had to take free lessons.
Okay.
And 1 year, 1 year, not a day. So 1 year I had to toil to get the certificates. But those
Mm-hmm.
certificates helped me a lot. So after getting those certificates, I applied in other companies and I got selected. And till then, I didn't have to turn back.
Great. Great. Wonderful journey, Miss Ghosh. So, looking back, what single piece of advice would you give to girls in similar rural circumstances facing early marriage pressures?
Mm-hmm.
And how has your journey influenced your approach to empowering other women through education today?
First and last, I can say that believe in yourself. And there is no girl, no boys, and there is no discrimination. So if you think, if you can, because I believe anyone can, because if I can, anyone can.
Yes.
My situation was tremendously worse, and the worst, you can say. But from there, I have pulled myself in this way. So I believe if you want, you can. So the thing is, motivation is most important. You have to believe yourself that you can. There is nothing impossible in this world. If you want, you can. And for girls, Of course you want, because you need it.
Yes.
We need it. Girls can do anything. I believe girls can do better than boys,
Mm-hmm.
because we know how to manage our families, we know how to balance work and personal life, how to manage our kids, right? So
Right.
we know all. So why not?
Yes.
In India, in international, there are, in other countries, I proudly say Indian ladies, they can do everything. And
Ah,
you can see everywhere Indian ladies. They are flying aeroplanes, they are driving buses, they're even driving the small here transportations, right? They are the chief ministers.
yes.
They've been prime ministers. So they are everywhere. So believe yourself. If you believe me, you can do it. No one can stop.
Great. So much. It's lovely talking to you, lovely hearing you, and
Thank
you
you.
are an inspiration to so many women, Miss Nandini, and great to hear. And School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. Anything else you want to mention before I end the session?
Nothing. Thank you so much for listening me, and thank you so much for giving me this space to explore myself again. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. I'll end the session.